Hello dear cybernauts, you're welcome to this brand new episode with Sustinary Energia. Today with you is your very own barrister Egbe Eyongakumbe, your expert in energy, natural resources and sustainable development law. Today I am going to talk about the role of natural resources in socio-economic development of its host country. It could be Cameroon like any other country. But before I start, I'd like you to know that in Cameroon we have a framework bill which governs socio-economic development. This is actually contained in law number 2019/004 of 25th of April 2019. So when you go through this law, it will help you to understand how our socio-economic activities are looked upon. However, as an expert in natural resources, I'd like to give you this tip on how natural resources is seen as far as socioeconomic development is concerned. So whenever you're giving counseling on that domain, you will have to find a way to synergize socioeconomic development and natural resources. Now, for a start, when we talk about natural resources and its influence on the socioeconomic development of any nation, what we are actually looking at is how it can help in the development of the society and the economy where it is found. So in natural resources, we know that resources like the renewable natural resources replenish themselves. So we do not fear the fact that the future generation might not meet those natural resources, because they'll always be there. They replenish themselves, they regenerate themselves too. But as far as we are concerned, non-renewable natural resources, which we had treated in some previous episodes, do not regenerate themselves. They exist in a definite quantity, they exist in an exact quantity, they exist in a quantité finie, as the Frenchman will say it, that is in a limited quantity. This means that as we use them, they actually deplete and they do not replenish themselves. Now we are faced with the need for a sustainable socio-economic development of these non-renewable natural resources. When I say sustainable socio-economic development, what I'm saying is we have to use the capital which is generated from the exploration and exploitation of these non-renewable natural resources by the multinationals or foreign companies in developing our society. It could be infrastructural development, of course, creation of companies which will help in the exploration and exploitation of these natural resources. We should remember that non-renewable natural resources are very difficult to exploit and even to explore in the first place. So the host countries, whenever they discover that a particular, whenever the multinationals, discover that there's a certain country which has its natural resources, they actually come and implant industries in that environment. They have to build up industries which will help them during the exploration and exploitation activities. And this is a creation of jobs. This is a creation of activities, employment for that given environment. And that's what brings about urbanization. So when we talk about urbanization, we're talking about infrastructure, we're talking about roads, and that is about sustainable socio-economic development as well. We use the word sustainable because we, as the host country in question, have to see to it that this socio-economic development is maintained so that future generations can come and profit from it. So talking about natural resources in terms of sustainable socio-economic development, we were actually dragging your mind to the fact that the capital gotten from its exploration and exploitation had to be managed properly. Now in Africa, we have this trend that most natural resource blessed countries are actually suffering from the natural resource curse. This is because there is a lack of good management of the capital generated from the exploration and exploitation of these natural resources. This exactly is the issue we are addressing. When we're talking about the sustainable socioeconomic development, we are talking about how to manage that capital properly. We are talking about the vision of that that exploration and exploitation exercise. Despite the fact that government has its policy for which it awards these licenses to the multinationals, the government must also see to it that they have a very clear vision and strategy on how to plow back the capital which they get from these multinationals, such that the future generations can benefit from the exploration and exploitation that was carried out for those natural resources, of course, which belong to every national of that host country. So hoping that this very brief talk on the use of natural resources for sustainable socioeconomic development of its host country was well understood. I hope to meet you in the very next episode, in which we'll be talking about a very different topic, which of course we'll carefully select and bring to you. So hoping that today's explanation on how to sustainable manage natural resources, talking about the vision, talking about the strategy of the government with that capital, was quite useful. I remain your very loyal barrister Egbe. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.